Namo Amida Buddha. Elements of Genuine Faith. 2. To accept the story of Amida Buddha as told by Shakyamuni Buddha in the larger sutra. This sutra explains in our human language the apparition of Amida and his Pure Land in terms of cause and effect, and cannot be denied, especially because Shakyamuni's main reason for coming to this world was to teach this sutra. Quote, to reveal the true teaching. It is the larger sutra of the Buddha of immeasurable life. The central purport of this sutra is that Amida, by establishing the incomparable vows, has opened wide the Dharma storehouse, and full of compassion for small, foolish beings, selects and bestows the treasure of virtues. The sutra further reveals that Shakyamuni appeared in this world and expounded the teachings of the way to enlightenment, seeking to save the multitudes of living beings by blessing them with this benefit that is true and real. Thus, to teach the Tathagata's primal vow is the true intent of this sutra. The name of the Buddha is its essence. End quote. Quote, the larger sutra reveals the true teaching. It is indeed the right exposition for which the Tathagata appeared in the world. The wondrous scripture, rare and most excellent, the conclusive and ultimate exposition of the one vehicle, the precious words disclosing perfect instantaneous fulfillment, the sincere words praised by all the Buddhas throughout the 10 quarters, the true teaching in consummate readiness for the beings of this day, let this be known. End quote. Quote, the reason for the Buddha's appearance in the world is, above all, to expound the primal vow of Amida, wide and deep as the ocean. All beings in the evil age of the 5 defilements should believe in the truth of the Buddha's words. End quote. In it we also acknowledge the testimony of Ananda and all those gathered on Vulture Peak to hear the sutra and who literally saw Amida Buddha and his Pure Land in a vision, thus attesting to their very existence. Shakyamuni Buddha even said that we must accept the sutra in faith, so we should do this and not criticize or change it according to our likes or dislikes. Quote, thus have I formed my Dharma. Thus have I expounded my Dharma. Thus have I taught my Dharma. You must receive it and practice it by the method described and prescribed. End quote. Quote, I have expounded this teaching or sutra for the sake of sentient beings and enabled you to see Amateus or Amida and all in his land. Strive to do what you should. After I've passed into nirvana, do not allow doubt to arise. Even if a great fire were to fill the universe of 1,000 million worlds, you should pass through it to hear this sutra, to arouse joyful faith, to uphold and chant it, and to practice in accordance with its teachings. End quote. Quote, most difficult of all difficulties is to hear the sutra, have faith in it with joy, and hold fast to it. Nothing is more difficult than this. End quote. Shinran Shonin said, quote, we're encouraged 3 times to entrust ourselves to the Buddha's teaching. To accept my words is to entrust ourselves to the teaching. For people not to entrust themselves to the witness to me of the Buddhas of the 10 quarters would be to take the Buddha's words as false and empty. End quote. Quote, it is stated in the collection of passages on the land of peace and bliss, the supernatural powers of the 2 Buddhas, that is Amida and Shakyamuni, are equal. Be that as it may, Shakyamuni Tathagata does not speak of his own capacities, but especially reveals Amida's distinguished capacities out of his desire to make all sentient beings equally take refuge in Amida. For this reason, in many sutras, Shakyamuni praises Amida and urges beings to take refuge in him. We ought to be aware of the Buddha's intent. End quote. Master Saikoku said, quote, suppose that a man whom one deeply trusts and of whom one has no cause for suspicion whatever, tells you about a place which he knows well at first hand, saying that there is a mountain here, a river there. You believe deeply what he says, and after you've accepted these words, you meet other people who say it is all false. There is no mountain and no river. Nevertheless, since what you heard was spoken by a person whom you cannot think would speak a mere fabrication, 100,000 people might tell you differently, but you would not accept it. Rather, you deeply trust what you heard first. This is called trust. Now, believing in that and what Shakyamuni taught, entrusting yourself to Amida's vow and being without any doubt, it should be like this. End quote. Honen Shonin said, I, Honen, believe in the words of Buddha Shakyamuni and long for birth in the Pure Land with all my heart. End quote. Even if we do not read the sutra but hear the teaching from somebody and accept the existence of Amida Buddha, entrust to him, say his name and wish to go to his Pure Land when we die, then we automatically accept the sutra, because its main intention is exactly to teach the existence of Amida and his Pure Land, as well as his method of salvation, faith, Nembutsu of faith, and wish to be born there, the primal vow. As Shinran said, quote, the true and real teaching of the easy practice, the primal vow of the Pure Land way, this is the teaching of the largest sutra of immeasurable life. End quote. Namo Amida Bu.